John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is a new co-op zombie shooter made by the folks who made games like this, and this, in collaboration with John Carpenter, the awesome filmmaker who made legendary films like this, and this.
Hey, what more can a guy ask for?
If you're wondering if Toxic Commando is worth playing good for co-op nights or good playing by yourself, then this video is for you. I'm Nick from What's Good, let's take a look.
Number one rule, being a Toxic Commando.
Here we go.
Toxic Commando is a 1 to 4 player team shooter that's about mowing down massive hordes of zombies, fighting off bigger, tougher ones, and driving around open-styled missions as you loot areas and complete mission objectives. And John Carpenter lends his input, style, and music to help inject a bit of 80s B-movie flavor into the mix. It's really pretty thanks to some really awesome art direction and design. Toxic Commando is a little light on content at around 8.5 hours to complete, but the lower $40 price point is a plus, putting it in the same bracket as games like Helldivers 2 and Marathon. So, is it good, and does it hinge on whether or not you're playing with friends? Toxic Commando can either be played with online randoms, friends, or with computer-controlled teammates.
That was one of those things out there, trying to imitate him, Gary.
Either way, you're always in the same team of 4 goofballs that make up the Toxic Commandos.
You dropped the Toxic Commando already? Jesus.
We need a brand.
However, you can pick from 4 different classes that each come with unique powers and skill trees, which give it a bit of a nice sci-fi twist over something like World War Z.
Gather up steel!
And while it's not quite as tight of an experience as that or Space Marines 2, it's still a very decent bunch of silly action fun that borrows elements from many other games in the genre, and awesomely includes Saber's tech from their stuck in the mud simulators like Mud Runner to add to the vehicular fun, including using the winch to get unstuck and needing to find things like fuel, ammo, and spare parts. Toxic Commando is a budget game selling at a budget price point, and it does have a little bit of that budget feel to it, and when you're playing with 3 other friends, it's a lot of fun and very easy to forgive any rough edges you might encounter. But that said, we didn't run into any major bugs, and I'm also quite impressed that despite half my co-op team literally being on the other side of the planet, the netcode was really great and kept things perfectly playable, even with very high pings. And one last thing I will add is that I really wish they gave you the ability to jump into third-person mode if you wanted to.
And remember, once you're inside, you're on your own.
So let's say you're planning on mostly playing it by yourself along with AI teammates instead of with a bunch of friends. Is this still worth picking up? Running through the same missions I'd played with friends but now with team bots, I was happy to find that for the most part, the experience was still actually pretty good overall. Would have been nice to maybe have a little bit more control over what they were doing, or even maybe the ability to hot swap between them or try to do it by yourself.
Oh, you mean I can't count on you?
No.
Good.
So if you're jumping in alone, you could always give the matchmaking a go and join up with others, but playing solo isn't that bad either. However, it does go without saying, games like these are always going to be at their absolute best when you're running around, coordinating, chatting, and blasting away the baddies with some friends.
High five!
Toxic Commando is rough around the edges with some shoddy cutscene animations and writing that doesn't always quite land or give enough to make the John Carpenter name feel like it's really earned, but it feels like there's more potential here in the future.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
If you're looking for something new and fun to play with your co-op group, Toxic Commando may be a little light on content right now, but it sure is a bunch of fun with friends. If you're playing solo, you've got enough info now to determine if this is something you want to play alone, but with the roadmap promising new maps as well as more enemy types and weapons arriving in not long, just like World War Z at launch, it might not be so bad, but could end up being even better down the line. If Toxic Commando is your jam, you're probably interested in these games as well, so head over there, but before you do, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button to let me know. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.